Hi again, everybody. This is Michael Hull and Michael W. Hull Classical Guitar Channel. And today we're doing a video series on preparing for level 1 of the RCM exams. And this is part 3. I'm doing now the musicianship, ear tests and sight reading, and identifying intervals and chords. So there are a few categories. The first one is clapback. Now in clapback, the examiner will play a melody 2 times. It'll be in 3/4 or 4/4. The examiner will identify. Now, this is on page 17 of the syllabus, the link I sent. So it will be 3/4 or 4/4 time. The examiner will identify that for you and count off the first measure. So I'm going to give you a couple examples. We'll do this in lessons, probably have you record some more examples during lesson. The one thing you can't do, though, is look at my fingers. So now, since it's level 1, you'll likely have a piano specialist giving the exam. So they'll play these things on piano. I've got a keyboard here. We'll probably do that in lesson as well. And you can record. But I'd like to do it on guitar today and just give some examples for you to practice. And you'll have some more practice in lesson and then some examples to take home and practice. So the clapback. So here's the first example. This is 3/4 time. 1, 2, 3. And then play it again. 2, 3. That's one example. Let's do a 4/4 example in 4/4 time. Okay. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. Second time. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's clap back. So you will actually clap back the rhythm, not play back. That's later. So I'm playing some melodies, giving you, the examiner will play it 2 times and you'll clap back the rhythm. All right? And a playback, they will identify a key, and it's like a 5-note example in certain keys. Okay? So here we go. Here is the next section called intervals. An interval is just the distance between 2 notes. That's all it is. So if you have a note that's C to D, that's called a second. If you have a note that's C to E, it's called a third because there are 3 letters involved. C, D, and E, that's called a third. In this case, a major third. C to F is called a fourth, and that's actually a perfect fourth. But that's for another day, another level. The 2 intervals you'll need to identify by name after the examiner plays it. And you'll see on the syllabus how many chances they give you. I think they play it once. They'll either play it once, descending and or ascending. It's on the syllabus, but you have to identify whether it's a minor third or a major third. So they're both thirds, but you have to identify a minor third or major third. How do we know the difference? Well, the major third is going to have this more of a bright, almost, for lack of a better word, a happy sound. Minor third, more of like a cloudy day. So I feel like most people relate to that, but let's give you something else to latch onto. In the book, the red book we call it, in the red book, we learned first to read music through that, and there were some folk songs you learned. One was When the Saints Go Marching In. And that started on a major third. Da, da. The song Greensleeves starts on a minor third. So in the major third, oh when the saints, minor third is Greensleeves. Da da. The examiner will play that. So let me play, and you practice. You identify what I play as a minor third or a major third. Again, the major is going to sound a little happier. Da da. Minor. Da. Major third or minor third. All right, here's the first example. And again. Here's example 2. And together. And again, we'll do these again. You can record, but you won't be looking at the fingers. You'll just be having to tell by the sound. So relate to those sounds and use those little tunes to help you recall. You can practice these on your guitar too. If you play like A to a C sharp, that's a major third. A to C natural is a minor third. So A, third string, second fret, and then second string, second fret is C sharp. That's a major third, minor third, A to C. So that's a way to practice that. Let's do a few more, and then we'll go on. This is the second portion of the musicianship. We did clapback, and here are the intervals. Here's the interval. You play them together first, and then separately. Here it is. Minor third or major third? Next example, is this a minor third or a major third? All right, now, that's intervals. Chords are made up of intervals. A triad is a 3-note chord. So a chord with 3 notes in it, simply called a triad. You need to identify whether the triad is major or minor. Don't say minor third, major third. Only for the intervals do that. So when you're doing the interval part of the test, they'll want to know whether the two notes they give you, is it a major third or minor third? The 3-note chords, the triads, they'll want to know if it's a major or minor. That's your answer, okay? And you listen to those. Here is a minor triad. And I played it in arpeggiated form. I played it separately and blocked or solid form. So they'll separate it for you note by note, and then they'll play it in solid block form, and then you'll identify major, minor. That's minor. It has that sad sound from the minor third. Here's a major triad. The first 2 notes of the triad, there are 3 of them, the first 2 notes are what make it major or minor. They're comprised of either a minor third or a major third in the first 2 notes. They're called in root position. So if you play a C minor chord, it'll start on C. C major will be, hear the difference. I was letting you see my fingers there for a reason. Now, if we want to practice a triad, like an A chord, A, C sharp, E, that's a major triad. And a minor triad is A, C, E, C natural. So you could play A, 3rd string, 2nd fret, 2nd string, 2nd fret, C sharp, and open 1st string E. That is a major triad. Minor triad is 3rd string, 2nd fret A, 2nd string, 1st fret C, natural or C, and then the open E, 1st string. First one was a major, the second one was a minor. Let's give some examples from so you can hear and practice. Here is the first one. What is this? Major or minor? Here's the second triad. Is it major or minor? All right. Now, the playback, the examiner will play a melody. They'll identify the key, and you use short little scales. It'll be like a 5-note exercise. It'll be in 4/4 time. So 4/4 time, they'll identify, again, the key. They'll play a chord, I believe. You'll see that on the syllabus. And again, this week, long week, we have 3 lessons, and we'll have the exam next Saturday. So the playback, the examiner will definitely help you with this. Now, what you want to do is make sure you know 3 short scales. This is different from the technical studies. So you'll want to know this little C scale, C, D, E, F, G. C major, that's one scale. It's a 5-note scale. The examiner can start the melody on the tonic or the dominant, which is the 1st or the 5th note. The tonic note is the 1st note. The dominant is the 5th note. So you'll need to know that little scale so you can tell what he's doing. Again, the C scale, the 5-note C scale, 2nd string, 1st fret C, D on the 3rd fret, open E, 1st string, F, and then G. That's a C scale. The G scale, now we did this in the red book. Red book, page 51. We did a G major scale, but you will need to know 3rd string open, 3rd string, 2nd fret, 2nd string open, and then the C on the 2nd string, and then the D. So C major, G major, and A minor, which will start on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, open B, 2nd string, C, D, E. 3rd string, 2nd fret, A, B, C, D, E. Now remember, they will identify the key. They'll help you here with this, and then they'll play the example a few times, and you'll play it back. You'll play back. So that's why they call it playback. And you just need to know the instructions and review those. Make sure you understand those scales, and you'll be fine. So here's an example. Okay, let me give you an example. We're going to do A minor. And again. Actually, I did too many notes the first time. It's only going to be 5 notes. So I played 7. It's only going to be 5. So in A minor, it could start on E, though, on the 5th. So it could start like this. But like I said, they'll give you the chord, A minor. You practice those little scales, play through them, memorize them, and you'll be able to pick out notes really easily. All right, the last one, or the next one, let's do a G major. So this is the G major chord. Here's the example. And again. Then let's do one in C major. There's the C major chord, and here we go, C major. Once more. I played a different rhythm that time on purpose. Okay, so I just gave you a couple examples for practice. They'll play, when they give you an example, they'll play it the same way twice, okay? So I'm just making up some examples to kind of help you there, save time. We'll do more of that later. Let's talk about the sight reading. They'll want you to do a rhythm and a short example. So let's talk about that. We were talking about, clapping through. So let's take, we can, at your lesson, do some things from various books, but using the level 1, there is the lullaby number 1 on page 6. Let's clap through that. So what you want to be able to do is, now this is in 2/4. I think they will give you 4/4 maybe, but so I'll just do this. 1, 2. So what I did is I counted off the first rhythm and then clapped through the top notes, not the bottom line, just the top notes. So lullaby number 1 on page 6, that's an example. They'll give you one from sight. It's called sight reading. So again, I would tap my foot, 1, 2, and I keep tapping. I want to tap the first measure or one measure before I start, and then keep tapping my foot, 1, 2, and then 8th note, quarter note, 8th notes, quarter notes. All right, that's clapping. Now we can practice doing music you know too, like in the chanson anglaise, English song. So that one starts, that's cut time. I'm just going to count 4. Keep it simple right now, it's in cut time, but 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Notice that I put accentuation on the beat, so you can tell it's not just, doesn't have to be loud, you just need to be solid. So it shouldn't just be real tentative. It's got to feel like it's got movement to it. That's the way you play guitar. When you play your pieces, it's alive, it's expressive. The clapping is the same way. If you see a good percussionist, they're always that way because they don't play as many pitches as we do. So they have other ways they express. So that's an important thing. Very, very important. Musicality. All right. And also, you notice even if you're just applauding for something, some event, you don't just go, usually it's like, now that's not necessarily expressive, but it's got some life to it. So that's clapping. Let me do something, the Calino Castorame on page 7. It's in 3/4 time. I'm going to read and play. It's got 2 sharps, so I'm going to play 1, 2, 3. That sort of thing. I'm just playing the top line. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play from measure 9 as a second example. So here it is. 2, 3. And that ends the musicianship portion of the exam. That gives you some things to ponder and some things to practice. More on this week. Thank you so much.